Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Break the Knowledge Barrier. I have been a little late for uploading of videos on the tips, although I uploaded videos on the practice sessions, but due to some circumstances I couldn't upload the videos on the various tips of IELTS. I'm Nappreet Kaur. I'm an IELTS trainer at an IELTS institute, and in this channel I try my best to give you the best possible lessons for the IELTS and give you the tips for which you can score higher bands in your IELTS exams, and your target bands should be achieved by just viewing these tips which I am giving on these channels. Although I'll be taking other sessions also, but right now I'm just uploading videos on the IELTS series. So let's begin the video. But before I begin the video, I would request you all to kindly subscribe to my channel and please press the bell icon so that you can get the notifications of my upcoming videos, and at the same time please do like and share my videos to your friends and family members. Right, let's begin with the video today. Today I would be giving you details on the usage of idioms in the IELTS speaking test. Many people are confused about this factor, that whether they should use idioms in IELTS or not. So I'll be giving a little details how you can use idioms and what is the benefit of using idioms in IELTS speaking. First of all, I'd like to explain what are idioms. What do we mean by idiom? Idiom is it's a set of words, is a group of words or phrases that develops a meaning with the common usage. A group of words that slowly, when it is being used with the passage of time, it develops a certain meaning. And although the literal meaning of the words is not there, the complete set of words do not have that literal meaning of the words which is used, but it has certain metaphorical meaning. What is metaphorical? Metaphorical meaning is where a symbol is used. A word gives a symbol to a certain meaning. So that is the metaphorical meaning of the word. For example, hit the nail on the head. This doesn't mean that we have to hit the nail on the head. The literal meaning comes that we have to hit the nail on the head, but this is not the exact meaning of this word, this phrase, this idiom. It means that you have to say something at a certain point of time when it has the most impact. A point of time, say something at that time when it gives the maximum impact on the situation. That is the meaning of this word, that this phrase, hit the nail on the head. And mainly the idioms are used in informal communication. When we have to communicate something, normally we communicate various things, but when we use idioms, we generally communicate it in the informal way. When we are talking with someone informally, we use idioms. So these idioms cannot be used where formal communication is required. That means formal or academic communication. In that kind of a communication, the idioms cannot be used. Therefore, it is strictly advised that it cannot be used in IELTS writing. As you all know that IELTS writing is a formal way of communicating. In this, we use only the formal language of writing. The IELTS writing examination assesses your formal writing. So in that, we should preferably avoid using idioms, because idiom is an informal way of communication. I have seen many students, many people, they think that if they use the idioms, maybe the examiner will think that they have a very good knowledge of English. Yes, the examiner will definitely understand that you have the knowledge of English, but not the formal way of English. The formal English should not include the idioms. It's in the informal way of communication, and it can be used only in the speaking. In speaking, if we use idioms, that means that will give a better impact on the examiner. In the speaking, when we are speaking, you mean to say that in the speaking module of the IELTS, we can use the idioms, and that will definitely affect our bands, that scoring in our IELTS speaking module. But at the same time, we should know where to use the idiom and how to use it. It doesn't mean that we can use any idiom anywhere just to increase the band scores. In my next session, I'll be explaining how these idioms affect the band scores, but you can use it in the IELTS speaking module depending on the type of question, depending on the situation, and depending on the type, like on where the situation, where it fits the most. If it has the meaning, relevant meaning to the situation, to the topic what you are talking, only then should we use the idiom. It's not that just to enhance the band scores, we just say any idiom, we add any idiom. That should not be there. It should be relevant to the topic, to the conversation which we are doing. So in my next session, I'll explain you how it affects our band scores in the IELTS speaking module. In this session, I would explain you how using idioms affects your band scores in IELTS speaking test. Now here you can see that when the detail, the band score clarifications are given, in this they mention different things. Here I am talking about the lexical resource, only the lexical resource parameter, not the other three parameters of the IELTS speaking test. In case you use idioms, in the lexical resource parameter, you would get more bands. Like a person who gets 9 bands in lexical resources, that means he uses idiomatic language naturally and accurately. If the person knows how to use that idiomatic language naturally and very accurately, he will get 9 bands along with other parameters also, but in lexical resource, he can get 9 bands. So you should know how to use the idioms accurately and in the perfect manner without any difficulty. It should come naturally to you. So in that case, you can score 9 bands in lexical resource if you have the knowledge of other parameters also, if you fulfill other conditions of your assessment in the IELTS speaking test. Now if a person who has 8 bands, in this what they describe as the band scores for the lexical resource, for a person who got 8 bands here, that he uses less common and idiomatic vocabulary skillfully with occasional inaccuracies. That means a person who knows to use idiomatic language, idiomatic vocabulary, and he knows how to use it skillfully, although there can be certain occasional inaccuracies also. If there are occasional inaccuracies, that means you can get up to 8 bands in the lexical resource if you fulfill other criteria of the speaking test. So this is the value of using the idioms in your speaking test. If you use the relevant idiom in that relevant speaking test, in that speaking topic which is given to you, then you can get these bands. Similarly, a person with 7 bands who uses less common and idiomatic vocabulary and shows some awareness of style and collocations with some inappropriate choices. That means sometimes there can be certain inappropriate choices which can be in vocabulary, which can be in idioms or in other phrases what you are using. So that person would get 7 bands in the lexical resource. There can be certain inaccuracies. These are just one parameter, one condition which I am explaining in the lexical resource. There are different other conditions also. This is just one condition because this is also one of the parameters of lexical resource. In lexical resource, there are different parameters, but idiomatic language, using of idiomatic language and correctly is one of the parameters of lexical resource on which the examiner assesses you. So if you use the idioms, if you know how to use the idioms correctly on the given context, on what the topic is being discussed, you can definitely score higher bands in the IELTS speaking module. And in the lexical resource of the parameter of lexical resource would fetch you more bands if you use the idioms correctly in your IELTS speaking test, right? So these are the things, like for a person who uses idioms and he uses it with some inaccuracies, that doesn't mean that you can, as I said earlier, that you can use any idiom anywhere, or you can use the speaking in the speaking test you can club 3 or 4 idioms, you will get higher bands. No, that is not the correct way of assessing the answer. Idioms can be used, but it should be relevant to what you are speaking, and it should focus on what you want to tell. It should be able to explain. That idiom should fit into that situation, and it should explain your speaking, what topic, what you want to say. So only at that time you should use the idioms. If you don't know the correct meaning of the idiom, or if you don't know where to use it, then please don't use it, because you will not gain anything if you use the wrong idioms. But if you know correctly how to use the idiom, you will definitely get higher bands in the IELTS speaking test. So friends, hope I think you understood. Hopefully you've understood what I wanted to tell in this video, and in case you want any other clarifications, kindly comment in the comment section below, so that I can reply to your queries and give you more clarifications on your doubts, and I would be able to clear your doubts in case you have any in the IELTS speaking modules. Thank you for watching my video. Keep tuned. Hi friends, I am Nappreet Kaur. I have recently joined Unacademy as an educator on this wonderful platform. If you want to take online classes in IELTS, you can join my courses on Unacademy using my reference code, which is mentioned here, that is NCOR10. Use this code on the wonderful platform of Unacademy, and you can access the live classes there, and you can also get a 10% discount on the course fee if you use my reference code, and also an access to the various other educators on the platform. So if you want to learn online besides watching my videos, you can go to Unacademy and download the Learners app and subscribe to the courses which you want to subscribe to, which you want to take the coaching in. Use my reference code NCOR10, which is mentioned here. Use this code, get a 10% discount, and at the same time have an access at the various other educators on the platform. Thank you friends.